Hey everybody, welcome to JLB Sports TV. My name is Greg Basone, and today we will be previewing one of the most pivotal months of the club's history. We will be previewing the month of September, which will lead into, as you all know, the October 6th deadline. Amongst the things will be the Europa League Group stage and all of our opponents. Now, going into this, we have Steaua Bucharest tomorrow at home. Then we have Man U on Sunday. Then we have Northampton Town in the Carling Cup on Wednesday. We have Sunderland at home. We have Utrecht. And then we have Blackpool. Now, quickly, we are going to preview every single Europa League team. Now, Steaua Bucharest. They finished 4th in Romania last season. They have 23 league titles, the most in Romania. And that is something huge. You know, we're kind of the same way. Hell, to be fair, we're exactly the same way. They won the 1986 European Cup. They went to another final in 1989. This team is considered by many to be one of the best clubs in Eastern European football history. With that, that should be a very big test, given what there is. A little bit more on this. They were the highest ranked team in Pot 2 of the Europa League. When I saw the draw, the second they came up, I was very scared. Now, current record in the league, 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. They're currently 3rd in the standings, and they're actually tied for 1st, with the only difference being goal difference. They trail the 2nd place team by 1 goal and 1+1, and the 1st place team by 2. Now, with that, they play a 4-2-3-1 formation like us. Their leading scorer is Stansu, who has 5 goals this season. Now, then we go to the whole thing with Manchester United, which is, by the way, is going to be a big game. If we win, we tie them in the standings for the most part, with the exception of goal difference. But it's going to be a big game. We need to win it, and that's going to be very important. We're going to have Gerrard, we're going to have Torres, we're going to have all the big players for that game. Now, quickly on the Carling Cup tie. Northampton Town are a League 2 side. They are bottom of the table. They use a 3-5-2 formation. This is going to be interesting because they're going to have 2 wingers on the side. It's going to be like what we have with except we don't have wingers this far back. The big thing is that this is kind of like a 5-3-2, except the 2 wingers are further up playing a more attacking game, and as a result, their center midfielder drops back a bit. This is going to be a very interesting formation to face, just regardless of the personnel. And I think this is going to be very interesting to see given the youth players, how they handle this. Now, on to Utrecht. Given that we would play Sunderland before, we would be playing Utrecht, which are from the Netherlands. This club was founded in 1970, but they were really a continuation of a club from that area. Utrecht finished in 7th place in Holland last year, but they won the Europe playoff in their league, which gave them the ability to move forward. They've won the league once. That was in 1959. That was before the club was actually founded, but it was a continuation club, as I said. They've won the Dutch Cup 3 times. Actually, one of our current Liverpool players, Dirk Kuyt, led them to the 2004 Dutch Cup and won that. He was man of the match. Unfortunately, when we play Utrecht, it will be on the road, and it will be in Utrecht, and he will not be able to play. It's a very big disappointment. I'm very upset. This is actually really funny. They featured in the UEFA Cup during the 80s, but then they fell in the 90s. Does this sound familiar? It's kind of like us. They defeated Celtic in the Europa League playoff, which, as you all know, they were down 2-0 after the first leg at Celtic Park. Sorry, I keep forgetting names now. But then they won, and Van Winkelsworth had Wolfswinkel had the hat trick to get them through. Then, as you all know, we would play Blackpool. They have been a surprisingly good side. Maybe they'll fall by this time. Maybe they'll stay around. Who knows? But bottom line, they're going to be a tough team to face. We're going to play SSC Napoli. One last thing we're going to do. SSC Napoli is also in this group. The thing about Napoli is they're also like us in Utrecht. They finished 6th in Serie A last season after a managerial change. They won the UEFA Cup in 1989 with Maradona. He was a big player there, their biggest player, as you all know. The glory days, like ours, were pretty much in the 1980s. They're currently in the process of a renaissance right now, where they're currently rebuilding. This is their first European tournament since the 1995 season. Now, they won 3-0 on aggregate over Elfsborg of Sweden in the Europa League playoff. In Serie A, they have two draws, 1-1 away to Fiorentina and 2-2 at home to Bari. Their leading scorer is Edinson Cavani, who they bought for 17 million euros this offseason and is currently their most expensive buy in the club's history. Now, after the Blackpool game, we're going to be seeing a big thing with the club. The Royal Bank of Scotland can seize it. As far as I'm concerned, this is not a good thing. We need the club to be sold before this. The reason being, even though the Royal Bank of Scotland deal would be approved by the Premier League, as a result, this would avoid the 9-point deduction. If they buy the club, there is a big risk that they will sell players, and the club would decrease in value. There's a reason these guys aren't buying right now. They know that if the Royal Bank of Scotland actually takes over, they can buy it for £100 million. What are Hicks and Gillette asking for? $600 million. I mean, come on. They really have to press the deal. They really have to move forward. They really got to decrease their asking price for the sake of the club. Come on. Hicks and Gillette have to do something. Broughton's got to do something. The entire board has to do it. I know they're trying to refinance. I know they're trying to extend the deal. But come on, we don't want you here. Can you at least just do the right thing? Do the moral thing. This is what I'm asking of Hicks and Gillette. Do the moral thing. By the way, Hicks and Gillette. Moral thing. Do the right thing. We don't like you. We don't want you. The least you can do is save your credibility and sell the club before you give it up. Please. We don't want this. Can you please just do the right thing? That's all today for JLB Sports TV. My name is Greg Basone. Stay Bucharest tomorrow. We are going through a very pivotal month in the club's history. And with that, always remember that you'll never walk alone.